Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really profound idea of faith from Islamic tradition, one that's about way more than just words. It's about faith that lives in every single part of your being.
All right, let me start by asking you something a little surprising. Have you ever thought that your inner world, your private thoughts, your deepest feelings, aren't just passive things, but are actually considered actions? That's the core idea we're going to unpack right now. And to really get this, we have to look at how faith, or īmān, is described. It's not just a belief you have, it's an active duty for your entire person.
So there's this key term, jawara. You see, a tradition from Imam al-Sadiq tells us that God makes faith mandatory on all of our jawara. That means every faculty, every limb, every organ, both inside and out. Every single part has a role to play. Think about it. Your eyes have their own duty of faith. So do your ears, and so does your tongue. So, you see, real, complete faith isn't just about saying you believe. It's this incredible harmony of all these parts working together, each one doing its unique job.
And right at the center of it all, the commander-in-chief, if you will, is the heart, or the qalb.
And our source material gets super specific about this. It lays out 5 distinct duties that are obligatory, wajib, for the heart. First, it has to affirm the truth. Then it has to recognize it with real insight. Then it has to tie this unbreakable knot of belief. Then find contentment. And finally, achieve total, complete submission.
But here's the kicker. These 5 things aren't just feelings that, wash over you. The tradition actually calls them the work or the action of the heart. It totally reframes how we see our spiritual life, right? It's not static. It's this constant active process.
Okay, to really make this click, there's this powerful story from early Islamic history that shows exactly why this hidden action of the heart is, well, everything.
So we're talking about Āmmār ibn Yāsir, a companion of the Prophet. He was captured by his enemies and tortured horribly. And under all that pressure, to save his own life, he said the words, he verbally renounced his faith.
Now, on the surface, that looks like a huge deal, right? An act of apostasy. But then a verse was revealed in the Quran, and it made this absolutely crucial distinction. It carves out an exception for someone who is forced to say something, as long as their heart remains secure in faith.
And boom, right there, that just perfectly illustrates the whole principle we've been talking about. Āmmār wasn't judged by what his tongue said under force, but by the steady, unwavering action of his heart. See, the heart, the commander, its state can literally override what the other parts of you are doing.
So, this idea, this split between the heart's inner state and what the tongue says on the outside, it brings us to another really critical idea, the difference between real, certain faith and, well, hypocrisy.
And the Quran draws a really stark line here. On one hand, you've got the secure heart, one that finds peace and certainty in remembering God. But on the other hand, you have the hypocrite's heart, which is totally disconnected from the words their mouth is saying.
So hypocrisy here isn't just about telling a lie. It's about this fundamental disconnect, this lack of sync between what's happening inside and what you're showing on the outside. It's when your tongue is going one way and your heart is going somewhere else entirely.
And just to really hammer this point home, the source material points to another powerful verse. It basically says that we're accountable for what's going on in our souls, for these internal actions, and it doesn't matter if you show them to the world or if you keep them totally hidden.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. This leads us to the final and maybe the most important point about where real faith actually comes from. The tradition we've been looking at has this incredible phrase for it. It calls the action of the heart Ras al-īmān, the head of faith. Think about that. It's not just another part of the body. It's the head, the source, the chief, the commander. Everything else has to flow from there.
So really, the big takeaway here is pretty profound. Yeah, our words and actions matter. Of course they do. But they're supposed to be a reflection of something much, much deeper. A reality that's rooted completely in the conviction and the submission of the heart. And so that leaves us with a question to reflect on for ourselves. It's a challenge to look past what we say, past what we do day to day, and just ask, what is my heart really saying today? What's its true hidden action?